back to Sincerely Legenia. In today's video, I am going to be making acorn squash. Beautiful acorn squash. Now, acorn squash is typically considered to be a winter squash, but it's also included in the same species, I guess you could say, as summer squashes as well. So there were some beautiful acorn squash at my local Kroger, and I had been wanting to make some acorn squash, and so I have a recipe idea that I am going to put together today, and I'm going to share it with you guys. So stick around, and I'm going to show you how to make a delicious roasted garlic parmesan acorn squash. All right, so first things first, we're going to cut our acorn squash. And the first thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna cut it about right here, get this tip off here and make a flat surface so that we can work with it. So one thing's for sure is to make sure you have a really sharp knife. I did sharpen this knife, so I'm hoping I sharpened it just enough to where it can do exactly what I need it to do. Because acorn squash can be a little hard to work with. All right, perfect, beautiful. That took a lot of muscle. Okay, so we have the tip of it off here. So that now gives us a flat surface to be able to work with. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use this right here, the bottom or the tip of it right here as my starting point, and making sure that you have those fingers folded in. Go ahead and press down and at an angle. Perfect. So I'm going to turn it this way, and right where I pressed down the first time, I'm just going to start there again. And I'm going to do the same thing. Fairly easy there. All right. And there we have it. And so when you open it, you'll see that we have some seeds and some other stuff inside of there. Actually, this one isn't very seedy, but still, we do want to core all of that out. So that's what I'm going to do next. And you can core this out with an ice cream scoop. I feel like for this one right here, that this spoon right here will do just fine. So let me go ahead and start with this one. Okay, we want to get all of the ookies out of there. One thing about acorn squash, it is definitely the prettiest of all of the squashes. It's really pretty to use as decoration even. Nice little centerpieces. There's nothing like actual produce to use as decorative pieces. Acorn squash is definitely one of those that you could use. Guys, so there we have it. Our acorn squash has been all cored out. We've got all of that stuff out of it. Now let's get it ready for cooking. I've seen several recipes where you can just put it on a sheet pan, the entire thing, or the two halves in a sheet pan, this side down. Rub them with a little bit of olive oil, season it with whatever seasoning that you desire, and roast it that way. For this particular recipe today, we are going to be cutting these into little spheres, okay? So let me show you how I'm going to do that, and that is going to require me to have to do some more cutting into this bad boy. So here we go again. And if you need to, go in and allow that other arm to help you there, that other hand. All right. So we're going to be cutting. The acorn squash into little spheres, just like this. Okay. So I'm going to go ahead and cut the rest of these up. And if I didn't mention before you start the cutting process, make sure that you've washed, like you do all produce, make sure that you wash your acorn squash really, really well. Make sure you get into these grooves right here. Make sure you get into that really well as well. Now know this, while I'm cutting, you can also eat the outside layer of your acorn squash, or if you choose to peel it, you can do that as well. Either way, it's gonna be delicious. So now that we have our acorn squash laid out on a baking sheet, the next thing I'm going to do is drizzle a little bit of olive oil over each one. And I'm going to put some on both sides. But right now I'm just going to do a light drizzle. And then we'll kind of mix them up to make sure we get Get some on each side, okay? All right, very good. So we have both sides coated with the olive oil, so let's go ahead and lay it back out. All right, next up, guys, we're going to prepare our seasoning for our acorn squash. So right here, I have about 3 tablespoons of melted ghee. You can use butter or you can use melted ghee. It does not matter. And to this, I'm going to add some chopped garlic and about a half a teaspoon of Italian seasoning. And I'm going to mix all that up. Guys, this smells so good. All right, and we're going to use this to spread on our acorn squash. All right, guys, so next up, we're going to season our acorn squash with pink Himalayan salt. And black pepper. Okay, next, we're going to brush this delicious golden buttery seasoning, garlic seasoning on top. Deliciousness. All right, now we're going to turn it over and do the other side. And guys, we're going to season the other side as well with the pink Himalayan salt. All right, guys, and the very last thing we're going to do is add Parmesan cheese to our squash. All right, and we're just going to dust it lightly on the top here with some Parmesan cheese. Make sure we get a good amount on each and every piece. All right, our acorn squash is now ready to go into a 400-degree oven for approximately 20 to 25 minutes. All right, guys, our squash is ready. All right, guys, this acorn squash turned out beautifully. I am so pleased with the taste, and I know you guys are gonna like it too. If you're an acorn squash lover, you are gonna love this dish. Hey guys, as always, thank you for joining me for another great recipe. I hope you guys get a chance to give this one a try. If you do, leave me a comment in the description box below to let me know how you like it. Don't forget to give this video a thumbs up, and if you are new to my channel, welcome. I'm so glad that you are here. Go ahead and click that subscription button right down below. I would love for you to become a part of the Sincerely Legenia family. Well, guys, that is it for now. Thanks so much for joining me, and it is my prayer that you and your family have a blessed and a prosperous week, and I'm going to talk to you in the next video right here on Sincerely Legenia. Bye.